Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is GB Winging It.
And Precious Cargo on deck.
She's on deck, and we're taking out the 2018 Honda Goldwing DCT Tour Airbag. Where you want to go, honey?
Go out, get some good eats, see some good views.
You want to see some views?
Rocking and rolling.
You want to rock and roll? Let's get it. Hello again, and welcome back to the channel. I'm in the saddle.
And I'm in the back of the saddle.
Yeah, back of the saddle. Ah, the pillin.
I'm in the bleachers.
In the bleachers. The cheap seats?
Well, not so cheap on this Goldwing.
This. The Goldwing. Let's talk about this Goldwing. Let's talk about me closing in on 3 years of ownership of this Goldwing and how I go through this process of whether or not I want to keep a bike, whether or not I want to extend a warranty, whether or not I want to move on to another bike.
I don't think you've ever extended a warranty, though, right? Isn't this usually just the point where you make the decision to try something different?
That is correct. I have never extended a warranty on any motorcycle I've owned, and I've owned 20 new motorcycles in the past. And I've only purchased one used motorcycle in the past, and that was an 1100 RS. It was a 94 1100 RS. I put some miles on that bike, and I really loved that bike. It had a paralever and telelever suspension, and it was a real treat.
Was that a BMW?
It was a BMW.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And it was an old bike, but it was sweet, and it was well balanced, and she liked revs, and I like to give her revs. And that brings us back to today's topic. Do I move on from this Goldwing? Do I get a bike that sort of satisfies my need for comfort, touring,
Tech and speed.
and speed? Do I put it all together? And I got to tell you guys, I've been looking at getting into another adventure style bike that would sort of take the job of both of my bikes, my touring bike, the Goldwing, and my sporting bike, the CB1000R. I've been thinking about doing another adventure bike and sort of selling and trading off the other two. And now this is something that I've done in the past. In the past, I've had 3 adventure bikes, as you guys know, and I've always gotten rid of everything else in the stable at the time because I've used those bikes exclusively for both touring, sporting, commuting. I mean, they've been my everything bikes.
So wait a minute. You said both bikes? You would trade in both bikes?
Yeah, and simply use the one bike, and that would be the whole purpose of it. You know, rarely do I get an adventure-style bike that offers the ergos that adventure bikes offer. I mean, your feet are at a 90-degree angle, not unlike the Goldwing, and it's just so roomy, and it's just you sit up high, it's an open platform, and they're a real treat to tour on. They're a treat to commute on because you're in such a commanding position on the road. I mean, you feel like you're above everything. And then they're sporting because the engines are just so, oh, what a treat. Yeah. Yeah,
That's interesting. So
yes.
trading in 2 bikes that you love,
Right.
or hopefully 1 bike that you'll love just as much or more.
Well, that will do everything. I know it sounds cliche to say that a GS or an adventure-style bike does it all, but they really do. They really do. That VFR 1200X that I loved and I rode, that was my commuter. That was my tourer. She was a wonderful tourer. I did an iron butt on that bike. It was so comfortable, so large, and so powerful. And the 2 1200 GSAs I had, they were also very large, very comfortable, very commanding, handled incredibly well. I mean, with that paralever and telelever suspension, there's no brake dive, and those engines really put out, and they feel good. They're incredibly smooth at speed. I mentioned in other videos, that's one of the reasons why I love this Goldwing engine so much because this Goldwing is also a boxer kind of engine. Yeah. Yeah, so the feel is very familiar. It's a very familiar feel. The engine is a welcome companion on the road.
That's
So,
interesting.
so that's where I'm at. I'm about 4 months away from 3 years of ownership on this bike, and I'm thinking. And yesterday I had the opportunity to get out and go check out some motorcycles. I went to Harley Davidson in Long Island City, threw my leg over a couple of electric rides. Yeah, I even saw the new one. I even threw a leg over the new one, and I actually threw a leg over their adventure style bike as well. And I won't be getting that bike. I don't think they're ready. I mean, it's a nice offering. It's a nice gesture into the ADV market, but nah, that's not for me. Maybe if I was a Harley only kind of guy and I didn't know any better, but I've ridden BMWs for years and I've owned a few GSs and have about 100,000 miles collectively on all my ADV bikes, and I'm not taking a step back, so I won't
I
be
don't know,
doing that
Gil. I've
Pan
heard this
America.
before.
Well, I won't be doing that
This
Pan
sounds
America.
very familiar.
Yeah, it should. It should.
But I
Yeah.
don't know. It seems like you have that, what is it, the Road King, Road Glide?
Oh, well, you know what? I threw a leg over the road King yesterday.
Mm.
I even saw the red one, which was beautiful, but I got to tell you, those bikes, they're not balanced. I mean, Honda and other marquees who are seriously into the engineering, they will spoil you for the way something can feel. I shouldn't say should feel because it's going to feel, Honda's going to feel the way Honda's feels coming off the stand, and a Harley's going to feel the way a Harley feels coming off the stand. So I won't show any prejudice in that regard. I will say that it didn't feel nice coming off the stand. And I'm sure once you get the power going and the weight disappears and all that other cliche crap that you hear about bikes, but those bikes they're dated. They're dated, and they're dated in the way they feel, too. And if that's something that you desire in a motorcycle, then that's the right bike for you.
Well, did you do a test ride?
Just sort of got a look and feel. And I have to tell you, after being on the Starship Enterprise, after being on the Goldwing, have this layout and the information and how it all works together. Looking at some of the other manufacturers' offerings, like Harley Davidson, it kind of leaves you wanting a little bit. Yeah. And the weight did feel high when coming off the stand. Again, I'm sure that'll disappear. I've ridden cruises before, so I know the deal with that. But initially I was a bit turned off. But that electric glide, oh my God. The nice one, the blue and black one and the white one, that was a pretty looking machine. I could see how that would appeal to people who like the older style. This bike is called the Revival. I had to see it in person. Anyway, so that's where I'm at there, and I'm thinking about the 1250 GSA yet again. I mean, that bike has its shortcomings too, but I know that bike, and I know that it will be just as comfortable as this Goldwing on the road. And the engine is just as powerful. It is 200 pounds lighter than this, and it would really satisfy my sporting, my touring, and my commuting needs. Basically, it would do all. It just wouldn't do it as pretty. Because ADV bikes are ugly. No one's going to tell you that. I mean, I guess they are. It's in the eyes of the beholder, if you like that kind of dirt bike-looking style, but they are not very, they're not very attractive-looking bikes to me.
No, not at all.
Yeah, they're ugly.
And I don't know. I mean, comfort for the passenger.
Ooh.
That bike compared to this bike, there really is no competition.
Well, hey, you get a top box with a little pad to lean back on.
No, that sounds exciting.
Does it? All right. Well, we shall.
I mean,
we shall see.
You
We shall
gotta
see.
get what's best for you. But if I did have to put an input, I would certainly say,
You know what would be
so
best for
far,
me?
the Goldwing is unmatched. Although I will say that LG
Oh, the Beamer.
The Beamer LG. That was pretty comfortable.
Well, does this have more to do with the fact that the seat is large and you have a backrest and armrest and you just feel cocooned and wrapped up in it? It's is that what we're talking about here?
Well, yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I guess that's why it's important to make sure that you have what you want to ride first. Because how often do I ride with you? I mean, really.
Well, you always have the ability to change that. We love
Yeah.
taking you along. And there's,
No, I mean, right. You always extend the invitation, but I mean, truth be told, I like riding season when the weather is nice.
well,
You know.
every day
And
is
if I
riding
am
season for
riding with
me.
you, of course, I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
However, I don't feel like that should play um, a major part of your decision making if we're talking about you having one bike.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Why don't you buy the bike? Buy a bike, and I'll ride it.
Indian, here I come.
Indian. Okay. No, why don't you buy?
I'll buy you a bike.
No, buy the Goldwing. Buy this bike, and I'll grab another bike, and it'll be 3 bikes.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds like the perfect plan, not.
Yeah, sounds good, right? Sounds good.
Where are you going to put 3 bikes?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I tell you what. You buy us a house with a 3-car garage,
Ooh.
and I'll buy that Goldwing for you.
Yeah, then we'll never get rid of the kids. The kids will always come home, and they'll bring their kids. The grandkids will come home. They'll be like, hey.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah, let's say a
Ooh,
pop-up stuff.
Nice, nice.
Oh, you like that? It's a Corvette.
I hope he has some sunblock on that head.
Yeah, right? You think he's got some sunblock? Or is his head just blocking the sun?
Tell you, out on the island, it seems like whenever I'm on any road, headed out towards the island,
All right.
you really do get the opportunity to see some nice cars and nice bikes.
Yeah. I'll tell you
You
this.
really do.
You know what? I went out to Harley Davidson yesterday, and I'm on the Goldwing. And you park on the side of the street there on the sidewalk, and you're the only Honda, you're the only Goldwing out there. They're all Harley. There's Harley clubs that actually hang out at the Harley dealership, and they
Now
look
here
at
you come, and they like, look at
yeah.
this mofo.
Well, no. Some are incredibly nice. They're amazed at the Goldwing, and they want to know what you're doing there, and you're a motorcyclist first and foremost. You're motorcyclists. Let's get that out of the way. You're motorcyclists. So motorcycles are interesting to you. So I started talking to one of the chapter members there and told him that I was interested in the bike, and they were telling me how the owners there are new, and I was telling them about my experience there about 7 years ago. Me and you went in there, and I said that it was a very the salesman acted very douchey, like oh, Harley Davidson, what are you on now? A Triumph? Oh, come over, do an upgrade, and it was very
Douchebaggy.
yeah, man, it was an incredible douchey experience. And now I had to baby douche today, but he didn't know any better. So I kind of felt for him, As a motorcyclist, you sort of want to take guys like that under your wing and show them there's another way. And he was a young man and looked to be in his early 30s. I don't know. Hopefully they'll give him some decent guidance there. But I wish that dealership luck. I mean, I really hope they do well.
What about when we went to the Harley dealership out on the island on Sunrise? What was that, like in Massapequa or something like that?
Well, that one, isn't that one in Merrick, near Taka? Isn't there one in Merrick or Ocean? Well, Belmore, it's in Belmore. Belmore Harley Davidson. Yeah, I don't remember my experience there.
I don't really recall, too, because I kind of remember at some point I drifted on my own to look at bikes.
Yeah.
But I do recall you speaking to one of the salesmen.
Yeah,
and
what?
He was a rider.
Yeah, and it was a great experience, man. It was a great experience. He made you want to be there,
Sometimes that makes all the difference.
It makes all of the difference.
Yeah.
Because after all, we're people first. We're motorcyclists first before you have any kind of ridiculous brand loyalty. And you're a motorcyclist first. So my experience yesterday didn't change anything with regard to my desire to get a nice Road King. That didn't change. I just wasn't able to move forward because of that bit of a stumbling block in the way. But hey, look, it's all about motorcycles here on this channel. It's all about my motorcycle experience and sharing it with you guys out there. On my way to the dealership, I'm on the Honda Goldwing, and I'm rocking the DCT, and I am basically crawling in traffic without a care. And I'm saying to myself, how could I, in my right mind, even think about not having this beautiful machine in the arsenal?
Don't forget comfortable.
Oh my goodness, it's comfortable. It's ridiculously comfortable. It's iron butt comfortable with the stock seat. We've done that already. We've already shown you how we get down, how we rode to Florida for a taco. And it was good. Yeah. It was damn good. But you know what? We like new experiences here. We're not afraid of change. So changes are coming.
That's right. You got to embrace change.
Yeah. You kidding me?
Never be afraid to try something new.
You kidding me? I mean, I've gone back to things. You remember in 2002, I had that BMW K1200 LT, and it was wonderful. It was great. You rode with me a little bit, and then you stopped riding with me. Wait a second. Didn't we have a child in 2004? We had Savannah. Was she born in 2004?
I think we had Leah.
No.
Because
Come on, Leah's
came back
98.
around to that LT.
Leah was 98. Savannah was
04.
04, right? So prior to that, you had slowed down with the riding.
Right.
So I went from that LT and I jumped on a K1200 RS, the Sport Tourer. I mean, she was, whew, that bike had some beams. That was a straight 4, an inline 4 BMW, and it was a Sport Tourer, and it was heavy on the Tourer because it weighed about 600 pounds, but it was quite sporty, the engine, and she liked to spin up, and she was comfortable. And why did I get off topic? What am I thinking? Oh, the reason why I bring that up is because I left the LT. I stopped riding that. So now here we go with the K1200 RS. And then a few years later, you want to ride again. Here I go with another K1200 LT. So the point I'm making is this. I'm not afraid to make change, and I'm not afraid to go back to a bike that I left. I had 2 K1200 LTs. I also had 2 BMW GSAs. So with that said, I'm not going to create any additional anxiety about my decision to move on from the Goldwing. I can always go back to it. Or I can store her and put her up somewhere. What are your thoughts on that?
Kind of reminds me of that song. I don't know. Things that, I'm horrible with that. Here we go again. I keep coming back to you now.
Isley Brothers.
Yes. Isley Brothers. Of course.
Yeah, that's a great
That's
song.
what I think about it.
All right, well.
Ultimately you I mean, it's what you do. You go out, you try new bikes. You go back to old bikes if you like them.
Yep.
With you doing this vlog now, probably a great thing.
Yeah.
To try out different bikes.
Well, we got a nice little group here. Ultra. Oh, there's a wing. There's a Goldwing. Look at the Goldwing, Ross. Woohoo! Yeah. He's got a Goldwing. All right, let's talk to the subscribers, the viewers. Let's talk to them about their thoughts What are your other thoughts on moving on from bikes, and how do they make their decisions with that regard? And do they move on around the warranty? Do they start looking? Is there a particular time of year they just get the itch? And I want to hear your thoughts, your comments. Do you start getting the itch every year around a certain time? Do you keep a bike for a few years before you develop the itch? Does the itch never develop once you get a bike all set up the way you want it? You guys have seen the Goldwing, and she is set up the way I want it. But I still got the itch. Do you start to feel a little fuzzy around warranty when your warranty is beginning to expire? Do you start to think, is it about cost-benefit analysis? You figured you need a new set of tires, you're due for a large service, and your warranty's coming up. Do you drop a few grand in there because you got it the way you like her? Or is it around the time that you begin to look? I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation right now tells you where I stand. When I get there, and I'm there mentally, where I'm looking at service, tires, purchasing an extended warranty, I'm thinking about it. How beautiful is this? I'm thinking about all of this, and I'm thinking about all of this. This Goldwing's been good. It's been smooth. It's been powerful. It's been everything that I want in a touring bike. It's actually been quite the commuter in the inclement weather. You guys know. You've seen the videos. You've seen the uploads. I ride this all year long. In the winter, that fairing protects the heated seats and the heated grips. They comfort. The suspension, electronic, is sublime. But I still have to think about this. What are your thoughts? How do you do it? What aids in your decision making? Do you have a precious cargo on back who likes to add her
On
2
deck.
cents?
I'm on deck.
Yeah. Something to think about, guys. Leave your comments below. I want to hear from you. Have a great day. This is GB Wing It.
And precious cargo.
Yeah, she's on deck. She's on deck. She's on deck. Yeah. Are we out?
We are out.
Are we out?
We out, bitches.
Oh, come on. Maybe you are ready for a Harley. That was kind of rough. We out, bitches. Come on.
Oh, bitches.
Yeah, it's time for you to have that heat coming off that engine. I think you're ready for it.
We out, mofos.
Yeah, you're ready for it.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah. Forget the adventure. I'm going to pick up that hot box with that extra heat coming off of it that need stage 1, 2, 3, or 4 just to get me right where I'm at right now. Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy your Sunday, people. GB Winging It.
Precious cargo.
We're out.